West Bengal gears up for Durga Pujo. There's another kind of preparation which is taking place. And this is about the BJP as much as about the Trinamool Congress. I'm Pallavi Ghosh. On One Take this week, we talk about how the confrontation between the BJP and the TMC is actually escalating, despite the fact that immediately there are no elections round the corner. You all must have seen those visuals about this face-off between the TMC as well as the BJP, where BJP leaders claimed that they were being lathi-charged, there were police vehicles which were torched, and there was trading of allegations against each other. The TMC accused the BJP of doing so, the BJP accused Trinamool Congress and the Bengal government of high-handedness. And to top it all, the words of Abhishek Banerjee was something which was lapped up by the BJP to point a finger at Mamata Banerjee and say, "We told you so." What Abhishek Banerjee had essentially said is that you should be lucky that the Gundas could not gain control and no one was hit on the head, as the situation could have gone out of control and we managed to control it. This was used against Abhishek Banerjee by the BJP to show that how he's actually calling the shots, and second, according to the BJP, he was not less than any Gunda himself. So the question we are going to be asking this week is that why is it that the BJP has begun early despite the fact that they lost in the last Bengal elections? Does the Trinamool Congress has anything to be worried about? And is Abhishek Banerjee going to be the undoing of Mamata Banerjee? And more importantly, the clean image of Mamata Banerjee, where she began her political career with in the Trinamool Congress, is that going to be sullied by the many allegations against people who are very close to her? What was an interesting development is that a Bengal Assembly also took up this resolution against the CBI, against the ED, because they say that these investigative agencies are used by the BJP and the central government to attack all the political opponents, especially those who put up a strong fight against the BJP. Pretty much similar to the allegations coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party. Also similar to what the Congress has been saying in the past. But if we are going to talk about the TMC, the AAP and the Congress, the ones who are facing the maximum brunt of it is of course the Trinamool Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party of late. While both these political parties may be saying and accusing the BJP of being scared and hence misusing, to use their words, the ED and the CBI and other investigative agencies to silence their political opponents, the BJP clearly rejects this by saying that, look, aapke daman mein kuch kala hai, there's something wrong and you have to be answerable for that. And if you've done nothing wrong, why are you scared of any kind of investigations into ED and CBI? We're going to be focusing on West Bengal primarily this week, but arrest of many of those who are considered to be extremely close to Mamata Banerjee. Those pictures are there for everyone to see. Anubrata Mondal, Partho Chatterjee, all of them who are now facing that scanner, and the list is really long, gives rise to this doubt in the mind of some of the voters that is there genuinely something going wrong and skeletons in the cupboard of the Trinamool Congress. It's also interesting that of late, the Mamata Banerjee factor has in a sense been much more mellow. Yes, she does those occasional speeches, rallies, press conferences, but it's not like almost on a daily basis. They are also preparing the ground because they have learned one lesson from their confrontation with the BJP, despite the fact that they won with a huge margin in the West Bengal elections. And that is, never underestimate the BJP. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the BJP is going to be silenced. When you saw those scenes on the streets of parts of Kolkata and nearby areas like Mednipur, one was wondering what is it that the BJP is actually planning. I did speak to some of the BJP leaders, and especially those who come from Bengal, and they said, we are not going to keep quiet. Because BJP is not a party which only does an open and shut case kind of a politics. West Bengal elections are still a far way away, but 2024 is not. The BJP's calculation, and this is something which we have discussed every time on One Take itself, is that they really want to surpass the margin of victory, the record which has been held by Rajiv Gandhi of at least 400 seats. They want to have more than 400 seats. And their plan is very simple. Discredit the political opponents, and therefore become an alternative to the voters. We saw that in Bengal in the last Lok Sabha election, the BJP of course did surprisingly very well. What the Trinamool Congress is counting on is, in the backdrop of the handsome win in the last assembly elections, the BJP would be silenced and would be a no-show. That may not necessarily be the case, because the BJP certainly is going to use this entire narrative of the Trinamool Congress being corrupt. We know that the voting pattern is very different at the centre and at the state levels. The issues which matter at the state level do not often matter at the central level, and vice versa. Corruption certainly does become an issue, because let's not forget that when Modi came to power for the first time, it was banking on the corruption of the UPA. A clean government, a government which is actually going to give primacy to the people. The money which should be spent on infrastructural development is instead being used to fill the exchequer or the pockets of the netas. That's the kind of narrative the Modi factor came up with, and that's exactly what the Prime Minister is still going to be focusing on in Bengal as well as in pretty much other states. The narrative the BJP is going to peddle is that a vote for Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress means you only make the TMC leaders richer. You know, when we saw those stacks of notes and cash which was being unearthed, it did send horror. And I did speak to a lot of people who are called the Bhadralok or the urban intelligentsia of the Trinamool Congress in West Bengal. They are horrified. Look, it's interesting because these are the same people who initially may have decided to vote for the BJP during the assembly elections, but the moment the BJP started their personal attacks on Mamata Banerjee, Bermuda shorts, Didi oh Didi, that kind of a narrative, they were very uncomfortable, and that is why many of them shifted their votes towards the TMC against the BJP. But all of this can be negated and countered when those pictures of huge amount of money comes across. You know, this money couldn't have been discovered overnight. Obviously, it's been collected. And despite the strong defenses coming in from those who have been arrested, whether it's Partha Chatterjee, whether it's Anubhuta Mandal, the fact remains is that how do you justify and answer that there has been so much of money which has been found? Why is it that those who are considered to be the close aides of Mamata Banerjee did not even bother to tell Mamata Banerjee or the party's top leaders, if you want to believe the words of these leaders and of Mamata Banerjee, that we were not aware of it? It's also interesting that Mamata Banerjee's defense of Anubhuta Mandal, and we have explained this in our one take, why she has a political compulsion to do so, because he's very strong in that entire area of Bolpur, the Shantiniketan area and so much and so forth, and there are important panchayat elections coming up. But before looking at 2024, what the BJP is also looking up is at the upcoming panchayat elections next year. Panchayat elections has often become the benchmark of politics in Bengal. The left reigns supreme over there, Mamata Banerjee reigns supreme over there, and anyone who controls the district level or the low level of organization like the panchayat elections is bound to have a strong grip as far as the centre's politics or the state politics is concerned. So before we talk about 2024, BJP's eye on Bengal is actually an eye also on the panchayat elections, because if the BJP has been able or makes a breakthrough over there, is definitely going to have an impact on the BJP's fortunes in the state. It's also very much the reason why the BJP is also focusing the attacks on the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi along with other states, because of the MCD elections coming up. And the BJP knows that that's where the power, that's where the clout is. You control the MCD, you control the panchayats in Bengal, you also control the narrative and the states, and this could help you in 2024. Do give in your reactions on why is it Bengal is still boiling even though elections are not immediately around the corner, and also why do you think the BJP doesn't want to give up on Bengal, and why do you think that Mamata Banerjee is facing one of the biggest challenges in her political life in recent times, and will Abhishek Banerjee and his words actually erase the kind of politics which Mamata Banerjee has positioned herself with? Thank you so much for watching.